Hello, 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 mic test, mic test. Hello, hello, I am Noreen Gonda. Um, I am the owner of this YouTube channel. So I am back again with another series of live stream, no. But unlike my other live stream, this is actually not live. Um, kakatapos ko lang nung real live, and unfortunately, my YouTube channel, no, my YouTube live stream ay hindi nag-push through because of some technical issues. So, what I am doing right now is recording kung ano yung kumbaga ni live stream or tinuro ko doon sa pinaka live stream talaga. So, hindi ito magiging masyadong maraming advertisement or commercial kasi walang masyadong questions na babasahin ako. Um, So, focus tayo dun sa mga board exam question. So, in this live stream, I will be teaching or we will be tackling about Module 1 and Module 2 board exam question. Switch lang tayo. So, your board exam questions ay mga items that maybe or maybe not previously lumabas sa mga dating board exam, no? So, hindi natin masasabi na accurate yung mga ipapakita ko. So, disclaimer lang po na maaring may inaccuracies o hindi exactly kung ano yung lumabas sa board exam, yun yung papakita ko sa inyo. But the gist, no, the concept, kung ano yung topic and ano yung sagot ay kumbaga parallel or tugma naman dun sa mga lumabas sa board exam before. Ito ay galing sa mga previous lecturer, no? Sa mga previous review center, sa mga ibang estudyante din na nag-take ng board exam. So, ito po ay solely for review lang, no? As a review resource lang and should not be relied upon as an official or comprehensive reference. So, for the schedule of our live stream, so ngayon po ay meron tayong live stream July 18 na nag-start ng 7 p.m. Actually, I end up like around 9:30 na rin natapos. Then after this, no, Module 1 and Module 2, Module 3 and Module 4 will be around August naman. And September yung Module 5 and Module 6. So, ang dami ko kasing question na nakuha dun sa live stream ko. Anong oras ba ako nagla-live? Usually 7 p.m. Anong oras or kailan ba ako magla-live? So, yung mga schedule of live stream ko ay pinapakita ko naman. So, para mas ma-update po kayo kung ano yung, kung kailan, ano yung ila-live stream ko, anong oras, kindly subscribe na lang po sa YouTube channel and sa TikTok ko. Meron na po akong TikTok no, Noreen G or PH. So, kindly search na lang po nung handle na yon. And kindly follow na lang po. Support the channel para mas makapag-share tayo ng mga materials sa iba. If may mga ano kayo, question, since hindi naman to live talaga na live, kindly just put it in the comment section and I will try to answer them after. No? And kung may mga tips kayo para sa mga future pharmacists natin, kindly do so as well. So let's start our question or our module, sorry, sa module 1 which is 20% of your board exam. So kung nagre-review kayo, I am sure you are familiar that it composed of general chemistry, organic chemistry, and organic medicinal chemistry. So, halo-halo po ang usually lumalabas sa board exam ng Module 1. Ibig po sabihin, may mga topics from other modules na maaari kayong makita dito, no? For example, Module 4 or PICOL, baka may ma-encounter kayong item sa Module 1. So, when you are studying Module 1, kindly um, try to study everything na din or expect na lalabas yung mga items from other modules. Kasi siya yung pinakamalaki ang percentage sa board exam. Therefore, ine-expect that you have like a holistic view doon sa mga ibang modules as well in this part. Ayun lang. So, let's proceed na agad with your um, first question. No? Which radioactive element is used to measure glomerular filtration rate or GFR. Again, which radioactive element is used to measure glomerular filtration rate or GFR? A. Iodine 131, B. Gallium 67, C. Technetium 99M, or D. Indium 111. So the answer here po is, yeah. So this one is technetium 99M. So your technetium 99M is used to measure GFR kasi ginagamit siya sa renal, okay, renal scintigraphy. Okay, renal scintigraphy to assess the GFR. So remember, the higher the GFR, the better, no? The glomerular filtration rate. Gaano ba kabilis filter ng kidney yung mga solute natin like salt, sugar, and other things, no? So the higher the GFR, the better. Therefore, it is inversely proportional in terms of the stage of CKD or the chronic kidney disease. Pag mas mataas yung stage, usually mas mababa yung GFR. Pag mga stage 1 pa lang, mataas pa yung GFR niyan. But since module 1 tayo, please expect a lot of question na focusing on the elements in periodic table. Next question, what is the first artificially produced element? A. Plutonium, B. Francium, C. Neptunium, or D. Technetium? The answer here po would be technetium or letter D. So your technetium with the uh, atomic number of 43, okay, symbol niya ay Tc. So this is the first element na artificially produced specifically noong 1937 by the scientists Perrier and Segre. Okay, Perrier and Segre. Okay, next question. Which ion appears blue in aqueous solution? Again, which ion appears blue in aqueous solution? A, Fe, B, Mn, C, Ni, or D, Cu? So, Fe would be iron, Mn is manganese, Ni is nickel, and Cu is copper. So, kapag daw nilagay mo yung solute na ito sa tubig, nagiging blue daw siya. The answer here is letter D, copper. So your copper ion imparts a characteristic blue in a blue color in aqueous solution because of the DD electronic transitions. Again, DD electronic transitions. Okay. Next question, the Marsh test is used to detect which element? The Marsh test is used to detect which element? A. Mercury, B. Lead, C. Arsenic, or D. Antimony? The answer is arsenic. No, arsenic. So, yung Marsh test reduces the arsenic compound to become an arsine gas. So, pag nilagay mo sa Marsh test si arsenic, nagiging arsine gas or ASH3. So, nagde-decompose siya to a metallic arsenic mirror on a heated surface. So, para siyang sodium nitrate, 'di ba? Pag ang positive result niya ay yung mirror or silver mirror. Yan, yung ating arsenic. Since this is inorganic chemistry, module 1, marami talagang tests na i-expect dito. So, both in inorganic and organic chemistry. Next question, which metal is added to glass to increase its refractive index? So when you say refractive index, nagre-refract yung light, making it parang shinier or nagsisparkle. So ano daw metal ang pwede nating ilagay sa glass? A. Iron, B. Copper, C. Zinc, or D. Lead. So the metal that is added to glass to increase its refractive index would be your lead or your plumbum, PB. Next, which element produces a red color in a non-luminous flame test? A. Potassium, B. Sodium, C. Barium, or D. Strontium? Which element produces a red color in a non-luminous flame test? So, marami tayong flame test. So, one type of that would be your non-luminous. Si potassium ba ito? Okay, your potassium produces violet color, no? Parang palatandaan natin dyan, P is for purple, pero violet yung ating description. Sodium, on the other hand, gives you persistent golden yellow. Barium is yellow-green, and strontium would be your carmine red. So the answer in this BE, Beck, or board exam question is your strontium. Nung nagla-live ako, maraming nagsabi na marami dito sa binigay ko ang lumabas noong April. Noong April. And even sa ibang year. So, makikita ninyo yung pattern. Next question, in the SAR or structural activity relationship of penicillins, what modification to the acyl side chain increases acid stability? Okay, increases acid stability. A, addition of an electron donating group. B, addition of hydroxyl group. C, addition of electron withdrawing group. Or D, addition of methyl group. Okay, ang nagpapa-increase ng acid stability in the acyl side ng ating penicillin would be the addition of an electron withdrawing group. So, nasang part ba yon dito sa ating structure? This part. Okay, this part. So, pag naglagay ka ng electron withdrawing group dyan, like fluorine, okay, mas nag-i-increase yung acid stability, therefore, hindi siya mabilis ma-degrade. So, recap lang tayo ng SAR ng inyong penicillin. Your penicillin's pharmacophore, no? Pag sinabing pharmacophore, ito yung framework, ito yung pinaka-nucleus niya, is called your 6-amino penicillanic acid. Okay, 6-amino penicillanic acid. Meron tayong R, which is the point of modification, or yung part kung saan pwede kang maglagay ng any any variation, no? Pwedeng benzene, pwedeng anything, literally, R. Then, meron kang acyl group, meron kang amide group, you have your beta-lactam ring, you have your thiazolidine ring, your carboxylic acid, and dalawang methyl group. Question or board exam question din po, is the sulfur part essential in the antibacterial property of penicillin? The answer is no. Again, the sulfur part is not essential in the SAR of penicillin. Ibig sabihin, kahit palitan natin si sulfur ng carbon or oxygen, meron pa ring antibacterial property yung structure na yon. Kaya nga meron tayong carboxypenicillin, which is carbon yung nakalagay imbes na sulfur. Yan. So, very medicinal organic chemistry ang atake dito. Next question, which of the following is not a trace element in human body? A, zinc, B, iodine, C, magnesium, or D, selenium. When you say trace element, we are talking about the micronutrient. Micronutrient na element. So, konti lang yung kailangan natin para ma-satisfy yung need of the body. So, which of the following is not a micronutrient or not a trace element? Zinc ba, iodine, magnesium, or selenium? The answer po is si magnesium. Okay, because magnesium is a macronutrient. It's a major mineral na kailangan ng katawan. Kaya nga, di ba meron tayong mga food supplement like uh, magnesium sulfate, ganyan. Nagsusupplement tayo ng magnesium to help muscles and sleep natin. Pwede siya. Kasi in macro dose, pwede si magnesium. Unlike your zinc, iodine, and selenium, trace element or micro, konti lang yung pwede nating i-take to satisfy the need of the body. Next board exam question, milk of magnesia or magnesium hydroxide is classified as which type of laxative? Marami tayong type of laxative o pampadumi. Si milk of magnesia ba ay bulk forming, stimulant, lubricant, or osmotic saline? So, si magnesium hydroxide is an osmotic saline. Ano ba example ng mga bulk forming natin? So, dito pumapasok si psyllium. So, si psyllium, nag-absorb yan ng maraming tubig. So, pinapalaki yung dumi para mas ma-stimulate yung paglabas ng dumi. Stimulant naman is nagkukos ng konting irritation para magkaroon ng laxative effect. Example ng stimulant natin would be your castor oil or even yung mga cascara sagrada. So, your cascara sagrada, just a recap, is an anthraquinone, di ba? An example of anthraquinone. Lubricant, on the other hand, sila yung pampadulas. Example would be mineral oil. Yan, pampadulas. Osmotic or saline, di ba? If you will remember the parang flow, uh, si osmotic or si osmosis ay nagdedepende sa concentration gradient. So, si milk of magnesia or si magnesium hydroxide serves like a solute. Okay, sa solute siya, therefore, drawing water into the intestinal lumen by the osmosis or the difference in the concentration gradient. So, yun yung parang mechanism of action. Bakit si magnesium hydroxide is an osmotic? Kaya nga yung saline is an osmotic laxative kasi saline is like solute or salt, di ba? So, anything that can act as solute uh, could follow the osmotic laxative mechanism of action. Next. Which NSAID is a propionic acid derivative associated with aplastic anemia? A. Indomethacin, B. Ibuprofen, C. Ketorolac, or D. Diclofenac. Which NSAID is a propionic acid derivative associated with aplastic anemia? A. Indomethacin, B. Ibuprofen, C. Ketorolac, or D. Diclofenac. So, meron tayong two clues here. So, the answer is ibuprofen. So, si ibuprofen po ay propionic acid. Yung side effect of plastic anemia ni ibuprofen is rare but still considered as an adverse effect. So, pag sinabi nating aplastic anemia, mababa lahat. Mababa RBC, WBC, and even platelet. Because meron kang problem with your bone marrow. Next question, what is the fixed dose combination partner of sulfamethoxazole in cotrimoxazole? A. Pyrimethamine, B. Trimethoprim, C. Dapsone, or D. Sulfathiazine. Sulfadiazine. Di ba meron tayong cotrimoxazole sa butika? Para siyang coamoxiclav, which is a combination of amoxicillin and clavulanic acid. In this board exam question, ang tinatanong, ano yung kapartner ng sulfamethoxazole? The answer is letter B, or trimethoprim. So, para siyang SMX plus trimethoprim. So, ang result nun ay yung cotrimoxazole. Next question, what is the mechanism of action of sulfonamides? A. Inhibit cell wall synthesis. B. Block the 30S ribosomal subunit. C. Competitively inhibit PABA in folate synthesis. Or D. Inhibit DNA gyrase. So your sulfonamide is an antibacterial that acts by competitively inhibiting the PABA in folate synthesis. So tatandaan natin, ang folate synthesis is the kumbaga precursor or siya yung pag natapos yung folate synthesis, nagkakaroon ng DNA synthesis. We don't want that in terms of bacteria. Gusto natin patayin yung DNA ng bacteria. So, si sulfonamide ay halos kamukha ni PABA. So, what happened is, si PABA, imbes na ma-degrade or ma-metabolize siya ng enzyme, which is what we call dihydroteroate synthase, that is the enzyme, no? Imbes na si PABA yung atakihin at i-metabolize ni synthase, si sulfonamide yung naatake kasi magkamukha sila in terms of structure. Therefore, hindi natutuloy yung folate synthesis and therefore, namamatay yung bacteria. Next is, nakalagay na, hindi ko nabura. What is the major intracellular cation? Sodium, calcium, magnesium, or potassium? The answer is potassium. Di ba meron tayong mnemonic na PISO? So, potassium in, sodium out. So the major intra, kasi tagal-loob, intracellular cation, ibig sabihin positive, is your potassium. May question ditong isa, what is the second most abundant intracellular cation? So, hindi na yung si sodium kasi si sodium ay tagalabas. Si sodium ay major extracellular cation. Si calcium, hindi po yan. Si magnesium, okay, magnesium, that is the correct answer. Then si chloride ay hindi rin po kasi nga negative siya. We are talking about or we are asking about a cation. So, meron tayong mnemonic, di ba, na MICO. So, magnesium in, calcium out. So, in the question, the second most abundant intracellular cation would be your magnesium. Next, which of the following is used as a precipitant for barbiturates? Ethyl alcohol, nitric acid, Fehling solution, or magnesia mixture? The answer is nitric acid. May chemical name po siya na 5,5-dinitro barbituric acid. Okay, barbituric acid. Just a recap, barbiturate is a type of anxiolytic, kasamahan siya ni benzodiazepine, no? So, they act by, in terms of the opening and closing of the GABA voltage chlorine channel. So, si barbiturate is, ini-increase na yung duration of opening nung voltage gate, while the benzodiazepine is on the frequency of opening. Okay, ito naman, pag kayo nagkamali pa dito, aspirin is also known as A. Acetaminophen, B. Salicylic acid, C. Methyl salicylate, or D. Acetyl salicylic acid. The answer is acetyl salicylic acid. Okay, ASA. Si acetaminophen po ay paracetamol. No, paracetamol. Si methyl salicylate is the oil of wintergreen, yung ginagamit natin sa mga liniments. Okay, liniment. Next, ACE inhibitors inhibit which of the following? Renin, aldosterone, angiotensin-converting enzyme, or kinase? Ako, napakadali, no? Sa board exam po, marami rin pong pamigay na mga tanong. So, ACE inhibitor inhibits the angiotensin-converting enzyme. So, kanina nung nagla-livestream ako, ang daming mabibilis sumagot. Talagang ang daming nagcha-chat. Pero, meron din nagkakamali. Kaya sabi nga, dahan-dahan lang, no? Huwag kayong magmadali pag magsasagot kayo. Dahil may mga pamigay na question, tapos baka naman na overconfident naman kayo sa sarili ninyo, dun pa kayo nagkamali. Mas nakakapanghinayang iyon. Next question, the heme-free form of myoglobin is called metmyoglobin, apomyoglobin, oxymyoglobin, or deoxymyoglobin. So, the answer here is your apomyoglobin. So, kapag yung myoglobin mo walang heme, answer is apomyoglobin. The most electronegative element in the periodic table is oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, or fluorine. Again, what is the most electronegative element in the periodic table? Oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, or fluorine? The answer is, okay, fluorine. So, meron tayong periodic trend, di ba? From left to right, from bottom to top, nandito yung sa electronegativity. And may kita nyo dito si fluorine. So, meron po tayo ditong grupo na hindi sinasali dun sa pinaka-periodic trend na iyon. So, fluorine po ang answer. Next, which of the following which of the following is an active metabolite of prontosil? Sulfacetamide, sulfamethoxazole, sulfapyridine, or sulfanilamide? So, the answer here po ay sulfanilamide. Prontosil is a brilliant red dye, no, na prodrug ng ating sulfanilamide, which is an antibiotic or antibacterial. So, ang naka-discover po dito would be si Domag. Okay, si Domag noong 1932. Di ba kung matatandaan niyo yung kwento, si Domag yung scientist na tinest niya yung antibacterial property ng prontosil sa daughter niya na may sakit. Then therefore, na-process and na-discover yung sulfanilamide, which is an antibacterial. Next, calcium sulfate, sorry. Okay, sabi, minamiss ako. The only liquid animal wax is carnauba wax, beeswax, lanolin, or spermaceti. Answer is spermaceti. Si beeswax, kung nakita naman kayo ng honey na nasa, ano, na nasa, ano pa niya, colony pa niya, no? Yung beeswax naman ay solid. So, yung spermaceti is coming from the head part of the sperm whale. Okay? Hindi po siya sperm ng whale. Yung spermaceti. So, ginagamit yan sa mga creams natin. Calcium sulfate dihydrate is also known as A, fluorspar, limestone, talc, or selenite. So, on inorganic po, marami pong question ng mga other names. Honestly, for me, mahirap din siyang sauluhin. Isa yun sa mga ayaw ko sa inorganic. Masyadong maraming other names or common name. In this one, the answer po is letter D or selenite. Your calcium sulfate dihydrate could also be gypsum or terra alba. Next, calcium disodium EDTA or the EDTA is primarily used to treat poisoning caused by mercury, arsenic, lead, or iron. Answer is lead poisoning. So, nagkakaroon ng chelate or chelate formation which makes it easier to be renally excreted. The other name of penicillin G is A. Phenoxymethylpenicillin, benzylpenicillin, benzathine or ampicillin. Answer is benzylpenicillin. Si phenoxymethylpenicillin po yung PEN-V. And between PEN-V and PEN-G, ang ginagamit po orally or tinitake orally would be si PEN-V. Kaya nga may palatandaan tayong V is for vivig or vunganga. Si PEN-G po ay usually parenterally kasi hindi siya stable or acid labile siya. Mabilis siya na-degrade ng acid sa stomach. Next, what is liberated when potassium permanganate is reacted? Magnesium oxide, hypochlorous acid, chlorine, or hydrogen. So, meron po tayong chemical reaction here. So, si potassium permanganate, pag nagdagdagan ng hydrochloric acid, will yield manganese chloride plus water plus chlorine, which is gas. Ang naliliberate po would be the chlorine na gas form. Therefore, the answer is letter C. Oil of vitriol is another name for A, nitric acid, B, hydrochloric acid, C, phosphoric acid, or D, sulfuric acid. Answer is sulfuric acid. What is the correct vehicle solvent for total parenteral nutrition or TPN? A, purified water, B, bacteriostatic water for injection, C, sterile water for injection, or D, water for injection. So, may nalito dito, sterile versus water for injection alone. So, the answer po ay letter D, no? Bakit? Because water for injection ay usually ginagamit for large volume parenteral. Si TPN po is an example of a large volume parenteral. Kung kayo po ay nakapag-hospital pharmacy internship, makikita nyo po paano kino-compound or paano pine-prepare yung TPN natin. Mahal po yan, no, yung TPN. So, yung parang ginaganon, binubutas, tapos binibigay sa pasyente. This is usually in large volume and ang paggamit nito is like 24 hours lang. So definitely we do not use preservative na or water for injection na may preservative like your letter B, bacteriostatic water for injection. The sterile water for injection is usually for small volume parenterals. That's why the best answer here is letter D, water for injection. What is the official type of water that is contraindicated in neonates? Water for injection, purified water, bacteriostatic water for injection, or sterile water for injection. Answer is bacteriostatic water for injection, because meron siyang preservative na benzyl alcohol which causes gasping syndrome sa neonates o sa bata. So, contraindicated po siya doon. Next, what is the susceptibility to hydrolysis from most susceptible to least susceptible? So, hindi ko na po babasahin yung mga choices, pero ito po yung tatandaan natin in terms of susceptibility to hydrolysis. Ang tinatanong po dito is ano yung functional groups that is most susceptible to hydrolysis. Just a recap, hydrolysis is may tubig kang sinama tapos magla-lysis or magbe-break. So, when you put or introduce water, nagkakaroon ng metabolism or degradation. Ano daw yung mga functional group na mas susceptible, ibig sabihin, mas naapektuhan ng hydrolysis compare sa iba. So, meron tayong mnemonics na et kaku. Okay. So, simulan natin with acyl halide or halide plus acyl anhydride. Sorry, hindi pala siya plus. Yan, greater than. Then, sumunod si ester, thioester. So, when you say thio, merong sulfur group na kasama si ester. Carboxylic acid, carbonate. Next ay si amide, carbamate, then urido. So, et kako. In our choices po, no, ang pinakatamang sagot dito would be letter B kasi acyl halide, tama naman, anhydride, halide, anhydride, ester, and then amide. So, tama naman yung in terms of susceptibility sequence nila. Next question, the ion product, if the ion product is greater than KSP, the solution is A saturated, B supersaturated, C unsaturated, or cannot be determined. So, if the ion product is greater than the KSP, your solution is supersaturated. Ang chemical formula po nito is the Q is greater than the KSP. Q is equal to KSP. And pag unsaturated, Q is less than KSP. Isipin nyo na lang na yung ion is the solute and the KSP is the solvent. So, pag mas marami yung solute, for example, sugar, pag mas marami yung sugar compared dun sa tubig na pagtutunawan mo, ang tawag doon, supersaturated. Ibig sabihin, kahit anong gawin mo, ang hirap na niyang tunawin. Kapag saturated is enough siya para ma-dissolve yung sugar, which is your solute. That's why the solute is equal to the KSP. Pag unsaturated naman, mas mababa or pwede mo siya ma-completely dissolve kasi mas mababa yung solvent compare sa solute. So, yun lang yung parang another analogy or explanation in this type of board exam question. So, actually, that is like 30 item na ng Module 1. We will now proceed with your Module 2, which is 15% of your board exam. You have your biochemistry and pharmacognosy. So, may mga question kung paano ba inaaral ito. Ang Module 2 po ay depende sa season kung alin ang mas lamang in terms of content. Pwedeng si biochemistry, pwedeng si pharmacognosy. What I suggest is you focus on the metabolic pathway and also sa classification. Classification talaga yung key. Therefore, you try to summarize it on your own. For example, sa biochemistry, um, mas maraming mga metabolic pathway. But at the same time, you have to know ano yung mga classification in terms of pag-carbohydrate. Sa carbohydrate, maraming types dyan. For example, yung mga ketoses versus aldoses. 'Di ba? Pag pharmacognosy, alkaloid, glycosides, sa under glycosides, nandiyan sina anthraquinone, saponin, etc. Tapos ano yung mga example nila, constituents nila, and the uses. So, very memorization talaga ang Module 2 and based on interview and survey, marami pong nahihirapan sa Module 2 sa board exam. So, pag-aralan po maigi. Let's proceed. Colchicine is used in gout management. This is classified as which type of natural product? Is it a terpenoid, glycoside, alkaloid, or flavonoid? Again, colchicine, which is used for gout, tama naman. This one is from Colchicum autumnale. Kailangan po bang magsaulo ng scientific name? Yes po. Unfortunately, yes. So, anong type siya ng natural product? Sa way of questioning pala, madalas na parang ang daming tinatanong or ang daming information sa gitna. Pero, ang mahalaga mo lang naman malaman dito is, anong type siya ng natural product, si colchicine? Pinahaba lang nila yung sentence. The answer is, it is an alkaloid. Ang mechanism of action of your colchicine is mainly on preventing microtubule formation. But in this in this case, no, sa gout, ang ginagawa din ni colchicine is inhibit niya yung migration ng mga inflammatory natin na like prostaglandins. Inhibit niya yung migration from the body to the joints, no, para pumunta doon at ma-inflame yung part na yon sa na pinag kumbaga pinagko-concentrate nung gout. But in terms of the MOA, ang MOA niya talaga is inhibition of tubulin polymerization, therefore preventing microtubule formation. Recap lang naman yun kaya hindi ko na sinusulat. If you are reviewing for the board exam, I'm sure na pakinggan mo naman na iyon. Next question. Pyrethrum flower extract is primarily used as antifungal, germicide, anthelmintic, larvicide, and insecticide. Answer is letter D. So, sa biochem, or sorry, sa PICOG, marami talaga yung simpleng use lang ng mga halaman. So, your pyrethrum flower is coming from pyrethrin from, okay, sulatin ko muna. Okay. From Chrysanthemum cinerarifolium. So, yan po yung scientific name. So, ini-inhibit niya yung sodium channel, therefore causing paralysis. Yan. Larvicide and insecticide siya. How many high-energy phosphate bond does ADP contain? 0, 1, 2, 3. ADP is adenosine diphosphate. So, kung makikita natin dito, ang high-energy phosphate bond lang po natin ay isa. Okay, isa. Letter B. In this case, how many high-energy phosphate bond does ATP naman contain? Adenosine triphosphate. 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer is 2. Next, the hemolytic property of amphotericin B is due to its large molecular size, its polyene structure binding to ergosterol, or its binding to cholesterol in mammalian cell membrane, or its inhibition of beta-glucan synthesis. The answer here is binding to cholesterol in mammalian cell membrane. If you will remember, amphotericin B is a powerful antifungal usually used in systemic infection or fungal infection. In the hemolytic property, more on the binding of cholesterol in mammalian cell membrane ang mechanism of action niya. However, it is still true that the MOA can be letter B, no, polyene structure binding to ergosterol. Ang ginagawa kasi is nagkakaroon ng parang pores, therefore nagkakaroon ng hemolysis. Imagine nyo na lang yung fungal, tapos nagkaroon ng tuldok-tuldok, sasabog yan eventually. Next, what is the net ATP yield from complete aerobic oxidation of one glucose molecules? 2, 8, 32 to 32, or 38? So, in this case, the answer is 30 to 32 for aerobic. Kapag anaerobic, that is 2 ATP. Yung 30 to 32 po ay old conversion. Okay? Kapag new conversion, that is 36 to 38 ATP. So, if ako ang magiging lecture nyo sa biochemistry, I will explain to you exhaustively bakit siya ganyan. Kasi merong difference na dun sa conversion ng NADH and FADH ninyo. Okay? It's quite complicated. But, sometimes in board exam, ang pinaka sinusunod or mas sinusunod is yung old conversion, which is 32, 32. 32, 32. 32, 32. Which of the following fatty acid has the highest melting point? Pag sinabing highest melting point, you need more energy to melt it. Therefore, mahirap siyang i-melt, di ba? Linoleic acid, oleic, lauric, or palmitic acid. Makikita nyo, pamigay na to kasi binigay ko na yung mismong carbon number niya and saturation. Si linoleic po acid and oleic acid po are unsaturated. Unsaturated fatty acid, while lauric and palmitic is asaturated. But remember, the higher the carbon number, mas mataas ang melting point because of stacking. Ang saturated po, mas dikit-dikit sila. Okay, yung stacking nila. Compare kay unsaturated na merong parang spaces kasi may mga double bonding. Yan. 'Di ba? Kung makikita ninyo, mas madaling masira yung unsaturated compare sa saturated. So the best answer here would be your palmitic acid kasi between the four, mas mataas ang carbon number and saturation ng palmitic acid. Next question, the enzyme that catalyzes phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate in glycolysis is A. Phosphoglycerate kinase, enolase, pyruvate kinase, or phosphoglycerate mutase. Answer is pyruvate kinase. Okay, this is one of the irreversible step of glycolysis, and in questioning or in making questions for metabolic pathway, hindi lang sila parang nagbibigay nung pinaka-diagram, they can also do like this, no? Yung parang direct to the point, ano ba yung enzyme na yon? Minsan, tinatanong yung reaction naman, imbes na yung enzyme. Okay, next, the primary alkaloid content of Coffea arabica is theobromine, theophylline, trigonelline, or caffeine. Napakadali naman, no? Coffea arabica is caffeine ng alkaloid content. Ang theobromine ay sa cocoa or sa chocolate. Ang theophylline is a bronchodilator. So, ginagamit yan sa hika, di ba? Kasamahan niya ng aminophylline. Ayan, kape is caffeine. Okay, next, D-glucose and D-mannose differ only at carbon 2. They are classified as enantiomer, anomer, epimer, or diastereomer unrelated to each other. Glucose and mannose are definitely related to each other. Nagkaiba lang sila sa carbon 2. Si glucose, nasa right yung OH. Si mannose, nasa left yung OH. Though they are both D or dextro. The answer po is C or epimer sila. So when you say epimer, nagkakaiba lang ng configuration in one specific carbon, which is in our case is carbon 2. Okay, which of the following correctly distinguishes cellulose from glycogen? So cellulose uses alpha 1 for linkages, glycogen uses beta 1 for linkages. Cellulose uses B alpha 1 alpha B1 for linkages, glycogen uses A14 and A16 linkages. Cellulose is branched, glycogen is unbranched. Cellulose is found in animals and glycogen is found in plants. So definitely, cellulose is to plant, glycogen is to animal. The answer here is letter B. Next, Fehling's test detects A. All carbohydrate, non-reducing sugar, or amino acid. Answer is reducing sugar. So example of your reducing sugar could be glucose, lactose, and maltose. Your non-reducing sugar is your sucrose. So si Fehling's test, kapag meron kang glucose, lactose, maltose, magpa-positive ka kay Fehling's test. Okay, steam distillation of volatile is performed at temperature A equal, B higher, C lower, or dependent on atmospheric pressure only. Remember, we're talking about volatile oils. Mabilis mag-volatilize. Therefore, we prefer yung temperature na ginagamit natin to distill would be lower than the boiling point of the compound. Para hindi makawala, di ba? Hindi mag-vaporize. Which drug is a capsid inhibitor approved by HIV PrEP and treatment with a twice-yearly dosing schedule? Zidovudine, acyclovir, efavirenz, or lenacapavir? Answer is letter D. I know you are familiar with acyclovir. This is usually used in chicken pox and napaka-taas ng frequency nito. It's like 3 times a day for 5 days. To the point na nakakasuka siyang inumin. Which herbal medicine is indicated for its anti-diabetic property? A. Ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, bitter melon, or echinacea? So, anti-diabetic, therefore, bitter melon, your ampalaya, or Momorodica charantia. Kindly remember the baby plants in your pharmacognosy. So, bayabas, acapulco, bawang, yerba buena, psidium pansit-pansitan, lagundi, acapulco, niyog-niyogan, tsaang gubat, and sambong. Which herbal medicine is used as an antidepressant but has significant drug interaction due to CYP enzyme induction? So, dalawang clue natin. Antidepressant siya and CYP or enzyme inhibitor siya. Sorry, mali. Hindi inhibitors. Inducer. Enzyme inducer. Valerian, Kava, Ashwagandha, or St. Chancellor's? Answer, St. Chancellor's. The most common lysosomal storage disease, Niemann-Pick, Tay-Sachs, Fabry, or Gaucher's disease. So kindly revisit po yung mga glycogen storage diseases natin along with their enzyme of deficiency. In terms of Gaucher, ang enzyme deficient po ay si glucocerebrosidase. Next, sickle cell anemia is caused by a frameshift mutation in the beta-globin gene, deletion of the alpha-globin gene, a point mutation GLU-VAL at position 6 in the beta-globin gene, or deficiency of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. Answer is letter C. Which plant hormone is primarily responsible for cell elongation? A. Cytokinin, gibberellin, ethylene, or auxin? Answer is auxin. Omega-3 fatty acid supplementation is primarily indicated for vitamin D deficiency, hypercholesterolemia, hypertriglyceridemia, and iron deficiency anemia. So maraming nagkamali dito kanina. The answer po would be hypertriglyceridemia. Maraming nag-answer nung letter B. I understand, no? Kasi parang ito yung parang simplified version on how most of HCPs explain omega-3. Pero the best po is hypertriglyceridemia. So, ini-inhibit niya yung, or nire-reduce niya yung VLDL secretion. Example natin dito yung mga EPA and DHA. Next po, ito po yung question na lumabas during our board exam noong 2022. Ano daw yung scientific name ng tawa-tawa? So, meron po mga scientific name na hindi lang baby plants. Like this one. So, Taxus verifolia, Erathia microphylla, Abelmostius esculentus, or Grammatofolium scriptum. Answer is letter D. Which of the following is classified as stimulant laxative? Okay, na-discuss naman kanina, no? So, cascara sagrada. Psyllium is a bulking. Lactulose may also be a stimulant laxative but more on lubrication. Mineral oil is lubrication as well. The best answer here would be cascara sagrada under anthraquinone family. Ubiquinone, coenzyme Q10, function as a oxygen carrier in the blood, structural component of ribosome, electron carrier in mitochondrial ATC, or cofactor for pyruvate dehydrogenase. Answer is letter C. Di ba? Maraming supplements natin yung ubiquinone and coenzyme Q10. So, they are advertised mainly for cardiac function, yung CoQ10, and energy. Which of the following RNA is non-coding? mRNA, rRNA, DNA, or all of the above? Answer po is rRNA. This is along your tRNA. Si mRNA lang po ang nako-code. Okay, yun yung nako-code. DNA definitely no. Then lastly, in tryptophan biosynthesis via the shikimate pathway, chorismate is first converted to prephenate shikimic acid, antranilic acid, or phenylalanine. The answer po is the antranilic acid. So marami pong times na lumabas yung shikimic acid pathway or the shikimate acid pathway. So kindly memorize po yung sa shikimic acid pathway kasi maraming or tatlo yung amino acid na pwede mong makuha. Now, we have your phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. So tinatanong po ano yung usually precursor nilang dalawa. In the specific question that I showed you, yung chorismic acid or the chorismate po, ang una niyang napoproduce would be the antranilic acid, which is the precursor of your tryptophan. Then, sumunod pa si prefenic kung saan makikita mo yung phenylalanine and tyrosine. So, kindly memorize po yung inyong shikimic acid pathway. In terms of metabolic pathway, if I will choose, no, if I will choose, kung ano yung pagfo-focusan ko, I will choose the glycolysis. And then the shikimic acid pathway. But of course, if kaya nyo naman lahat, why not, di ba? So actually, that is the end of the board exam question live stream ko, supposed live stream ko. Um, it's quite late na at this point. I hope you were able to learn a lot, no? Uh, sa very quick BEQ natin. So, meron na tayong parang three major series sa ating live stream. Meron na tayong lecture type, which was aired during 2025. And then, meron na tayo nung sa PACOP na ka-base. And now is yung board exam questions. So, if may mga gusto kayong balikan na lecture, I suggest you just watch yung mga naka-upload na mga live stream para para hindi na tayo paulit-ulit doon. Um, So, ayun, if may mga questions kayo, paki-comment na lang mamaya or after ninyong panoorin. See you in August for the next live stream, focusing naman sa Module 3 and Module 4. Ayun lang. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.